Welcome back, it's me, Lou. I'm here for another action figure unboxing and review, and today we are going to jump into the time machine and travel back a whole 25 years to the year 1999 as we take a look at this from Toy Biz. We are featuring the WCW Power and Beauty 2-pack, featuring the Macho Man, Randy Savage on our left, and Miss Elizabeth on our right. Alright, so I'm a huge wrestling fan. I've been following pro wrestling since maybe like 1984 when I was a little kid. The Macho Man and Elizabeth, they were kind of like one of those power couples in the world of pro wrestling. And this was something that I've been looking to re-add to my collection. I used to have this back in the day during my college years. And at some point in time, I don't remember what happened to them, but I no longer had these in my collection. And over the last few years, this is something I've been on the hunt for. I didn't want to pay too much for it, but when the opportunity arose to purchase this for a pretty reasonable price, I jumped on it. So what we're looking at here is the Power and Beauty 2-pack, released by Toy Biz, in 1999. It's a great looking set. The card backing is very colorful and eye-catching. You have this crazy graphic that says Power and Beauty, and you have the NWO logo down here. Nice close-up portraits of both the Macho Man and Elizabeth. And the characters are framed perfectly in the bubble, and behind them you see this nice display stand with the WCW NWO logo. And on the back, really cool photo. This really takes me back to those days of like the Monday Night Wars with the NWO, and then you had like Monday Night Raw. Nice meaty bio on both characters over here. And then here's kind of like a small catalog of some of the other figures available in the line during this time period. You had the Smash and Slam action figures. And these were action figures that kind of had like some sort of gimmick, and they came with like some sort of prop or accessory. And then here's some other 2-packs. You had the Battle of the Giants. This one came with the Giant with the neck brace. And then there was the other one, the Clash of the Champions 2-pack with Hogan and Sting. The Macho Man figure here has a play feature as well. He has fist-pounding action. He squeezes legs together, which animates the arms. So, yeah, let's get started and open this up. It kind of pains me to open this package up, especially with it being 25 years old. But this is something I really wanted to add back into my collection. So let's do it. And here they are. They look great. Wow, this really takes me back. That's awesome. Alright, so first up, you get this beautiful display base. It's kind of like in this plastic chrome with like a diamond-plated black on top with the WCW and NWO logo. What's nice about this is that this display base could accommodate 2 action figures. You have the foot pegs on the left and the right here, and that's a nice prop. And here are the 2 action figures that are included with it. Let's take a look at Elizabeth first. So we have Randy Savage's in real life girlfriend and wife at one time, Miss Elizabeth. Nice looking action figure. The expression on her face is kind of it's kind of outrageous. It's a little bit more on like a caricature than a realistic sculpt. She has the Macho Madness logo printed on her dress. The dress is removable. It's held together with Velcro. The material actually feels kind of fragile, especially considering this thing is like, 25 years old. It's a little bit tacky to the touch. And material like this does degrade over time, so I'm probably going to leave it alone. It's kind of wild that this figure came with like fishnet stockings. It's very risque, especially for a child's toy. But keep in mind, this came out, in the late 90s. But yeah, it's a nice looking action figure. Her head's articulated, doesn't really want to move though, and her arms are as well. Again, this feels like it's a product that's 25 years old. As I'm handling it, the material on the dress and on the boots, it's kind of like, you could kind of feel like it's starting to like deteriorate. So I'm probably going to leave this one well alone. But yeah, it's nice to have an action figure of Miss Elizabeth in her NWO gear. And it's a nice figure. But like I said, the sculpt's a little bit more of a caricature than something that looks realistic. Up next, we have the Macho Man Randy Savage. This figure was released multiple times. This one captured Macho Man in his black and white NWO gear. He has the vest. He has the Madness printed on the bandana. There was another variation of this figure that featured Macho Man in his Wolfpack gear, which was red and black. Nicely sculpted figure. He's a little too buff. I mean, if you've seen Macho Man, he's always been really buffed out. But when you compare him to some of the other figures in the line, his upper mass is just, especially his arms, they're just gigantic. Again, much like the Elizabeth figure, you can kind of feel that you kind of feel the figure's age. Like his vest here is starting to feel a little tacky. These softer rubbery materials, they have been known to kind of like degrade and even like melt over a period of time. So I'm probably going to most likely remove the vest just so that it doesn't damage the plastic underneath, which I've had happen to me before in the past. The figure is actually really well done. The stars are painted on pretty clean. There's a couple of imperfections, but for the most part, it's really nice. He has the fringe on the boots. And then as for the play feature, like the box indicated, you squeeze his legs together, and then it'll animate his arms. So let's raise his arms up. And then if you squeeze on the legs, it kind of like animates it, but it does feel like the figure's, even though it's a new toy and I just removed it, you can kind of feel like maybe the mechanism is kind of like breaking down after all these years. But yeah, his arms are animated. It's a pretty neat feature. But yeah, I'm pretty stoked to add this to my collection. I was such a big fan of the WCW figures that were produced by Toy Biz when they first came out. I thought they were, in many ways, I felt they were superior to the Jakks Pacific WWF figures at the time. But Toy Biz, they had a long history of producing, great action figures to begin with. Especially, they were coming off the heels of producing their Marvel action figures, which they were doing for probably close to 10 years when these came out. But overall, fantastic set. It's a nice trip down memory lane. If you grew up during this time period, this probably strikes a very familiar chord with you. Alright, so with that being said, let's wrap this one up. Once again, my name is Lou. If you're new to my channel, welcome. If you are a returning viewer or subscriber, thank you so much for your continued support. I greatly appreciate it. So until the next video, be safe, take care of yourself, buy lots of toys, and most importantly, be happy. And I'll see you at the next one. Alright, later.